Attention, please. My name is Dr. Michael Stewart, and I serve as the Associate Vice President of Student Affairs here at Middle Georgia State University. As we prepare to begin our ceremony today, we ask your assistance in assuring that the family member or friend you are here to see gets the recognition that they have earned. The graduate procession will begin in a few moments and will be televised on the screens. Any guests not already seated at that time will be asked to remain where they are until the procession has concluded. After that time, guests will be allowed to go to their seats. We do request that guests remain in their seats during the procession. A video recording will be available for you to share on our YouTube channel. Also, professional photographers are capturing still shots of your loved ones as they make their way into the venue and across the stage. During the ceremony, all of our graduates look forward to hearing their name called as they cross the stage. So we ask that you please limit your celebrations and hold your applause until the end, when our provost will invite you to join him in offering your heartfelt congratulations. On a related note, while we believe that all of our graduates are important, honor graduates who are receiving bachelor's degrees are recognized with a Latin phrase given after the reading of their name. Those who graduate cum laude, which means with honor, earned a grade point average of between 3.5 and 3.7. Those who graduate magna cum laude, which means with great honor, earned a grade point average of between 3.7 and 3.9. And those that graduate summa cum laude, or with highest honor, earned a grade point average of between 3.9 and 4.0. As a final sound-related request, we ask that you check to see that your cell phone is silenced at this time. And last, we request that when the ceremony ends, you exit the building and proceed outside to continue the celebration with your graduates. So, with those preliminaries out of the way, we invite you to enjoy the spring commencement ceremony for Middle Georgia State University.
Please be seated. Good afternoon. I am Dr. David Jenks, Provost and Vice President of Academic Affairs at Middle Georgia State University. It is an honor to welcome you to campus. Today, President Blake and I join with the MGA faculty, staff, parents, relatives, friends, guests, and dignitaries to celebrate our Spring 2023 graduating class. We extend our appreciation to all who have been involved in planning and preparing for today's commencement ceremony. Their efforts have made this a day to remember. It is a special day as we celebrate the achievements of our graduates. This semester, we confer our first doctoral degrees, marking a significant milestone for the institution. The 28 doctoral candidates who have earned their Doctorate of Science in Information Technology represent the highest level of academic excellence. They join over 700 graduates, each of whom has persevered in reaching their personal milestones. To celebrate the accomplishments of our graduates, we are hosting 3 commencement ceremonies on campus today, with 2 having taken place yesterday. These smaller ceremonies provide a personalized experience, ensuring that graduates can celebrate their achievements in a way that is both meaningful and memorable. As we gather today, it is also important to acknowledge the challenges and losses we have faced this year. I ask that we take a moment to pause and remember those who are not here with us today. If you direct your attention to the first row, you will see an empty chair draped in a black cloth. This chair represents the absence of our beloved students, staff members, and faculty who have passed away this year. May their legacy inspire us to continue to make a positive impact in the world and to cherish every moment with those that we love. Please join me in a moment of silence to honor their memory. Thank you. Today, we celebrate a commencement, a new beginning. For graduates, that may mean moving away from an area of comfort, leaving the spaces of learning, and possibly parting ways with close friends. This commencement marks the beginning of a new pattern of life, a new schedule, and a new set of responsibilities. However, before the candidates for graduation move on, let us all enjoy this ceremony and celebrate what has been accomplished. Let's take a moment to recognize just how far all of our graduation candidates have come while so much in life has changed over the course of their studies. Candidates, if you are the first in your family to attend college, please stand and remain standing. If you're a non-traditional student, please stand and remain standing. If you're a mother or father while being a student, please stand and remain standing. If you are or have been a first responder while being a student, please stand and remain standing. If you're actively deployed, an armed forces veteran, in a military family, please stand and remain standing. If you had to work while taking courses, please stand and remain standing. If you're proud of the work you've done and are ready to receive your diploma, please stand and remain standing. Ladies and gentlemen, the Spring 2023 class of Middle Georgia State University. Please remain standing. Candidates, you have received a great deal of help getting to this point. The support has come from many people in your life, including your family, your friends, possibly donors of a scholarship, and members of the Middle Georgia State University community. Let's take a moment to appreciate those who helped you get here today. Faculty members, please stand and remain standing. The faculty at Middle Georgia State University have certified that all candidates have completed the requirements for their respective degrees. Their continuous support and dedication to higher education enable us all to be here today. Join me in a round of applause thanking them. And remain standing. There are a few others who may have helped you on your journey. Parents, please stand and remain standing. Grandparents, please stand and remain standing. Spouses, children, siblings, extended family, partners, friends, please stand and remain standing. If you helped someone receiving a diploma today, please know that we appreciate how important your support has been. Candidates, look around, find your people, think about those who couldn't be here today. Join me in another round of applause to honor those who helped you attain your goal of being a university graduate. And now, please stand for the singing of our national anthem by Dr. Rebecca Lanning, Professor of Music.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so bravely we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rang clear, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Dr. Lanning. Please be seated, everyone. Thank you. As you reflect on your educational journey here at Middle Georgia State University, it's important to recognize the significant impact that our donors have had on your experience. These wonderful individuals, who you may or may not know personally, have generously supported our university through donations to the Middle Georgia State University Foundation. Many of you have directly benefited from Foundation scholarships during your studies, which have helped to make your education possible. Others have participated in Foundation-sponsored academic programs and activities at MGA, which have enriched the learning experience. And all of you have used equipment and technology that were outfitted in part with Foundation donations, which have helped to ensure that you have access to the tools you need to succeed. We would like to take a moment to express our deepest appreciation and thank you to all of our donors. To our graduates, as you move forward in your careers, we hope you will be an active alumni and encourage you to consider how you can give back to the knights that come behind you. We would also like to recognize the hard work and dedication and stewardship of our Foundation team, led by Ms. Julie Davis, Interim Vice President for University Advancement. Julie, would you please stand? The efforts of the MGA Foundation to secure support for our students is invaluable. Please join us in a round of applause to recognize the important role of our MGA Foundation and the donors who give to it. Thank you for all your support and generosity.
Well, good afternoon. My name is Christopher Blake, and I have the honor of serving as president of Middle Georgia State University. This is truly a highlight in the year, one of the happiest days because of what we celebrate in your achievement and in this community. To the graduates today, congratulations. Each year, the Student Honors Awards and Graduation Committee recommends to me names of outstanding students who can be the chosen speaker for the graduating class. That person is given the title of the President's Scholar. The student who is chosen must have an outstanding academic record, have been involved in campus and community service must demonstrate characteristics indicating a purposeful life and the promise of a strong future. The individual speaking to you today is one of 2 students selected to represent the senior class of 2023, and both of those individuals exceeded the qualities that we look for in our President's Scholar. Tavius Clark's pursuit of a degree got off to a bumpy start. He finished his first year at Middle Georgia State University on academic probation. Today, as he graduates with a Bachelor of Science in Early Childhood Special Education, the 2023 President's Scholar is an inspiring example of what it means to persevere. Clark earned a 3.9 GPA in his upper-level education courses and has been listed on the Dean's or the President's list every semester since fall of 2019. He uses his experience to encourage new students in the education program by hosting tours and introducing them to people that will help them. Despite his successes, Tavius is philosophical about this. He says, "I am the same student who was put on academic probation after my first year. I know what it is like to be on both ends of success and failure." Originally from Macon, Clark grew up attending Jones County schools, and while at Middle Georgia, he has coached and mentored programs for underprivileged youth that then inspired him to become a teacher. He currently works as a waiver teacher at Westside Elementary School in Warner Robins and continues his community service through the school's Champions program, helping underprivileged children before, during, and after school hours. After graduation, he will return to Westside as a full-time teacher. In addition, he plans to continue his studies, pursuing a master's degree in education, and ultimately having the vision and working towards his goal of becoming an elementary school principal. It is my pleasure to introduce to you your representative President's Scholar, Mr. Tavius Clark. Tavius.
Before I begin, on behalf of the graduating class of 2023, I would like to take a quick moment to thank President Blake, Provost Jenkins, along with all the staff, professors, friends, and family that have poured themselves into us over the last few years. However, most importantly, I want to congratulate each and every one of you in the graduating class of 2023. Please give yourself another round of applause. My name is Tavius Clark, and I am honored to be selected as the President's Scholar for the graduating class of 2023. I feel immensely proud to have such an honor because I get a chance to speak on the demanding work that every graduate in this class has put in to get here today. For anyone who plans on pursuing a higher education degree, I want to be the first to tell you, college is not easy. Rather, it was the stress of late-night study sessions for exams, countless discussion posts and homework assignments, having to pull out that calculator to double and triple check that final grade, or knowing you passed a class with an A. It takes an extreme amount of determination, hard work, dedication, and mental fortitude to push past the limits that you could not imagine were possible. But as you can see on the smiles on everyone's faces here today and the joy illuminating from those sitting here in front of you, getting to this point is an overwhelming feeling of happiness and pride that is comparable to very few joys in life. At this time, I want to share part of my story with all of you today. As President Blake said, I'm currently a kindergarten teacher at Westside Elementary School in Houston County. I plan to return there this fall and begin my first full year of teaching as a third grade educator. Throughout my young life, I attended Jones County High School, or in the school system. As a child, school always felt easy to me. I was always in the gifted programs, all that nonsense that we do growing up to try to feel like we want to go on extra field trips and things like that. I was always in those types of educational programs. Throughout middle school and high school, I was always a scholar athlete. So needless to say, my whole life, school never was an issue for me. That gave me overwhelming confidence coming into college that nothing else would be different. I felt like I would show up day one, and on day 4 years later, I would graduate. I want to be the first to tell you I was so terribly wrong. I described my first year in college with the famous Wizard of Oz saying, "Toto, we're not in Kansas anymore." For the first time in my life, I felt academic adversity, and I did not know how to respond. I was quickly humbled and humiliated as I turned in failing assignment after assignment. I tried tutoring, and I even tried studying for what felt like the first time in my life. But it wasn't working for me. In just a year, I went from a student that never struggled in any academic endeavor to feeling like an absolute failure. But instead of quitting, I took a semester off to reassess my life. I looked at myself in the mirror and made a promise to see college through. But during this time, I decided to switch majors and pursue education. From that point forward, I never had a semester that I appeared on anything less than the president's or dean's list for academics. Now, I get to stand in front of you all today as a peer, a representative, a husband, a father of a beautiful 7-month-old boy, and most importantly, I get to stand in front of you as a fellow Middle Georgia State University graduate. When I got the call saying that I would be a finalist for the President's Scholar Award, it felt amazing. I had just sent my students off to lunch, and I was enjoying what most teachers refer to as a slice of heaven, which is peace and quiet. I remember feeling a sense of overwhelming happiness and sadness all at one time. Not because I was not happy to be a finalist, but because with all the mistakes I have made, I didn't feel like I deserved to be the voice of a graduating class. However, after my interview with President Blake and talking with my professors, my family, and my friends, I realized that those feelings of not being worthy were the furthest thing from the truth. That day, I interviewed with President Blake. I shared my life story with him, how I've overcome different obstacles in my educational, health, and personal life. President Blake said something to me at the end of that interview that will be a part of who I am for the rest of my life. He stated to me that the adaptability and perseverance to overcome the challenges I've faced, whether it was my failure in my early academic career, the stress of raising a newborn and starting a family, dealing with sickness in my own personal life, or doing all of those things while working as a full-time teacher and being an academically outstanding student, are things I should feel immensely proud of because they are a part of molding me into the man I am today. And that same adaptability and perseverance represents everything that this institution stands for. Now, I don't know if it was the words he said or his cool English accent, but after that meeting, I've never felt so sure that I deserve something more in my entire life. The reason I chose to share my story with all of you today is to provide a call to action. No matter what life throws at you, never give up on your dreams, never give up on yourself, and no matter what it takes, always find a way to adapt and persevere. I leave you today with my favorite quote by Winston Churchill. And it's a quote that not only describes my story, but I feel like it can describe a lot of yours as well. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. So to the graduating class of 2023, no matter if you're graduating at the top of your class or you're just thankful you passed, we did it. Y'all give yourself one round of applause.
Thank you, Tavius. And now it is my pleasure to introduce our spring 2023 commencement speaker. Ragbir R.K. Sehgal left his native India as a teenager with little money in his pocket. He worked factory jobs in the United Kingdom and eventually moved to the United States. Living in the Deep South in the 1960s, Segal experienced discrimination, and that redoubled his desire to succeed. He started as a junior engineer at Law Engineering and rose up through the ranks to the top spot. Segal became the chairman and CEO of Law Companies, which was the second largest global engineering firm in the United States with 100 offices around the world. He later served as CEO of H.J. Russell & Company. In addition, he served as the chairman and commissioner of the Georgia Department of Industry, Trade, and Tourism, and as the chairman of Smart Fuel Cell and Primacy International. He has served on many boards, including Northside Hospital, the Carter Center Board of Advisors, and First Data's International Advisory Board. He graduated from Auburn University, and he is based in Atlanta. Please welcome our commencement speaker, Mr. R.K. Segal.
Thank you for this introduction. The problem with introduction is they don't say enough. They're supposed to be funny, you're supposed to laugh. Thank you. And I just want to thank a few people. Your president, Christopher Blake, Dr. Christopher Blake, you are lucky to have him. He and I have two things in common. Two things in common. One, good looks and the accent. Thank you, that side. This side is not applauding. I want to recognize a few other people. My good friend, DeBose Porter, is here. DeBose, you don't have to stand up, keep sitting. And the other person is Julie Davis. She does a remarkable job getting money for the school. Amberly Bentley, she did so much work for me when I was trying to arrange my trip over here. You cannot find a better person than Amber. And then you already talked about the person who spoke to you, the president's scholar. And then I want to introduce two more people. My wife, Dr. Sue Siegel, she taught 20 years at Georgia State University, psychology and management, and Oglethorpe University. Now she writes children's books. If you want to help the cause, please buy those books. And my daughter Kashi is here. She finished her bachelor's, master's at Georgia Tech, master at Georgia Tech, and finished almost her PhD coursework. And she does a unique job. If you're looking for a good career, you should talk to her. She will tell you something that you will absolutely enjoy. Kashi is here in the background if you want to say hello. You know, most of the commencement speeches that I have given and I have listened to, they are absolutely boring. Do you know that most of the people, they don't even know who the commencement speaker was or is? I remember going to West Point Academy, and the President of the United States spoke over there. And I asked the graduating class, some of them was my friends, I said, do you know what the commencement speaker said today? And they said, we don't even know who the commencement speaker was. So I have given quite a few commencement speeches. The longest one was 43 minutes at Georgia Tech. And the shortest one was at South Georgia Technical Institute. The longest one, 43 minutes. And there were something like about 5,000 people in the audience. I asked the president of Georgia Tech, Pat Creasine, a dear friend of mine, I asked him, Pat, why so many people? You have the whole basketball stadium full of people, over 5,000 people. He said, RK, you don't understand. Are you listening? Thank you. Said, You don't understand. It's so difficult to graduate from Georgia Tech. When they graduate, they bring the whole neighborhood. It's okay, don't have to applaud. So, the shortest speech, commencement speech I gave, I told you the name of the school, the name of the South Georgia Technical College. My speech was only 2 minutes. I asked my children, I said, tell me I'm going to be the commencement speaker at this technical institute. What should I say? They did some research for me, and then they told me what to say. And I built up the crescendo. Then I said to the commencement speech, I said, don't smoke. And I sat down. The president of the college came to me and said, Commissioner, is that it? I said, that's it. I want you to know that's the best speech I ever gave. I still get letters from people when they say I told them, don't smoke. This is not part. So, the longest speech I gave was at Georgia Tech. I mentioned that to you, there were over 5,000 people at Georgia Tech. And last Saturday, Anthony Blinken, he was the Secretary of State, he gave commencement speech last Saturday at Georgia Tech. They have to arrange his speech in the stadium. My speech at Georgia Tech when I spoke was mentoring. Mentorship could be anybody. Could be your uncle, aunt, next door neighbor. And my mentor was John Portman. John Portman, most of you may not know, John Portman is was a living legend in Atlanta. He did most of the buildings in Atlanta, so he built Atlanta downtown. And he went to work for all kind of buildings in the Middle East, Far East, and all that. He was my mentor. Mentor does not mean that you give him something or take something away from him. I heard that John Portman empire is in trouble. So I went to my CFO, who was a graduate of Harvard. I said to him, how much stock I have in the company? He said, you got about $1.2 million worth of stock in the company. I told him to get me a check written for about $1 million in the name of John Portman, because he was in trouble because the banks have changed their rules and regulation how to give money to the lenders. So I went to see him and I said, John, you have been my mentor for a long time. I'm not in the league of Rockefellers and Marriott. They were his partners. I said, this is 90% of my punji. Punji is the Indian word, means all my money. So I said, I'd like to offer you this on one condition. So he saw the check for $1 million. And I said, one condition is that you don't share that with anybody that I gave you this money. So there's a long story. If you read my book, you can see in the book what I did after I found out that he did share with some other people. So anyway, so then other thing I just want to share, where's my notes here? Last Friday, I wrote a piece in the Atlanta Constitution, and now it came out in the Dublin newspapers. DuBois Porter published that piece of paper. It's talking about Jimmy Carter that I have known for over 60 years. My whole family went to see him. We normally talk to him at least once or twice a month. We have probably seen him maybe hundreds of times. So I wrote a piece of article about Jimmy Carter. His, mentor was his mother. So if you have not read that article, I suggest that you read and buy that newspaper. That DuBois Porter's published that. And if you each buy 1 or 2 copies, it will help the cause. DuBois, you have the copies here? Just print. Okay. All right. So I don't want to prolong this speech. I can stand here and tell you all kind of stories of my mentorship and other things. So I want to leave here with three things. Number one, are you listening? Thank you. Are you listening? What did I say? That's enough. First thing I said, mentorship is very important. It could be anybody. It could be your father, it could be your mother, it could be your teacher. Mentorship is very important. That's number one. Number two, I forgot to mention one thing, the word persistence. I went to school at Auburn. Have you heard the name of Dr. Peter Drucker? Some of you may have, but I went to school at Auburn. We do not talk about famous people. So I found out that Peter Drucker was the god of management. He wrote many books. People regarded him absolutely the messiah of management. So I bought 3 of his books. After buying those books, it was a lot of common sense in those books, management books. So I didn't want to stop there. I want to meet him. So I called him on the phone, found out that he teaches as a professor at University of New York in New York. So I called him. The phone rang. I said, Professor Drucker. He hung up the phone. I was a little bit surprised because he has thicker accent than I have. He was from Germany. Next time I called him again, he absolutely did not take any time. He hung up the phone. So what do? In those days, you can make a person-to-person phone call. I asked the operator, I said, operator, please make a person-to-person phone call to Professor Drucker. So the phone rings. I told the operator, don't tell the professor that who's calling. So when he came, he said, Professor Drucker, there's a telephone call for you. So he stayed, and I said, don't you hang up this time. And he didn't. He said, what do you want? I said, I don't want a damn thing from you. My father told me, if you want to be humble, want to learn from somebody, you can just be so humble and ask them to teach you something. I don't think you can teach me anything. He stayed on the phone. Make the story short, he invited me to New York. I spent the whole day with him. Every time he wrote a book, he autographed the book to me and sent me a copy. The moral of the story is be persistent. Are you listening? Good. Be persistent. Mentorship, persistence. And the last thing I want you to know, next Sunday is what? Do you know what last Sunday is? Yeah, I'm asking you. Mother's Day. Thank you. Next Sunday is the Mother's Day. So listen, 3 things. Mentorship, persistence, I did that with Peter Drucker. And the third thing, listen to your mother. That's all I want to say. If you have any questions for me, meet me after. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you, RK. On behalf of the Middle Georgia State University faculty, it is my honor to congratulate the spring 2023 graduates on this special occasion. Commencement is a time of recognition for your academic accomplishments, so we join your family and friends in celebrating your success. This is always my favorite part of the ceremony. Are you all ready to walk across stage? That's a lot of nodding. Couple of logistics. As we call the names of the degree candidates, graduate students will be called first within each school. These graduate students will be hooded. Hooding is the first of 2 important academic rituals that take place during today's commencement ceremonies. It is reserved for graduate students and will be performed by the dean, who will place the hood over the candidate's head. This action symbolizes the passing of knowledge from the academic community to the graduate and signifies the graduate's inclusion into that community. For the hooding, graduate students, you will stop here, take a picture. The dean, hand the hood to the dean, face the audience, and he'll drape it over the top of your head. For everybody else and graduate students, once past that spot, make sure you stop here for a picture with the president. Everybody got that? Simple rules, right? And now, assisting with the presentation of degree candidates are President Blake, the academic deans, our interim registrar, Ms. Stella Denard, and our commencement caller, Dr. Kevin Cantwell.
Good afternoon. I'm Kevin Cantwell, Special Assistant to the President at Middle Georgia State University, and it is my pleasure to call forth each of the graduates participating in today's ceremony. Candidates for degrees in the Master of Science in Management, please come forward by row when directed to receive congratulations from Dean Miller, Dean Clayton, Provost Jenks, and President Blake. Christina Gail Wooten Bradley, Master of Science in Management. Cameron Jamal Davis, Master of Science in Management. Christy Lynn DeVille, Master of Science in Management. Jacelyn Diamond Hammond, Master of Science in Management. Anna Hieronymus, Master of Science in Management. George Michael Huff, Master of Science in Management. Brenna Lee Hutchinson, Master of Science in Management. Tanya Johnson, Master of Science in Management. Kenneth Jordan, Master of Science in Management. Brett Mitchell, Master of Science in Management. Kim T. Tarpley, Master of Science in Management. Charisma Winkler, Master of Science in Management. Candidates for undergraduate degrees in the School of Business, please come forward by row when directed and to receive congratulations from Dean Miller, Provost Jenks, and President Blake. Joshua Matthew Arthur, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. Darren Avila, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. Shania Elaine Berry, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. Melvin Boyce, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. Stephen Crosher, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. Lennox Dixon, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. Emily Drawhorn, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. Thomas Duck, Magna Cum Laude, Dean's List Scholar, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. Elizabeth Edens, Summa Cum Laude, President's List Scholar, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. George McGoy Gordon, Magna Cum Laude, Dean's List Scholar, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. Monica Harshaw, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. Carlicia Hinton, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. Cody Mark Hubener, Magna Cum Laude, Dean's List Scholar, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. James Bailey Jones, Dean's List Scholar, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. Diamond Jordan, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. Naful Sadiq Kamaruzzaman, Summa Cum Laude, President's List Scholar, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. Andrew Ronald Kraus, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. Riley Lawson Lake, Summa Cum Laude, President's List Scholar, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. Rebecca Lopez, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. Matthew Malloy, Cum Laude, Dean's List Scholar, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. Isadora Marcondes de Oliveira, Magna Cum Laude, President's List Scholar, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. Madeline Hannah Mayo, Cum Laude, Dean's List Scholar, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. Labuela Namaja, Cum Laude, Dean's List Scholar, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. Jamil Micah Payton, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. Rahul Ashwin Kumar Patel, BS in Business Administration. Waisha Paul, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. Christopher Quates, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. Jose Antonio Resende Valerdes, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. Nathan E. Rodriguez Fernandez, Cum Laude, Dean's List Scholar, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. Rhett Page Ross, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. Stanford Roser, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. Taylor Shields, magna cum laude, President's List Scholar, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. Howard Sims, magna cum laude, Dean's List Scholar, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. Patine Renee Strickland, magna cum laude, Dean's List Scholar, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. Caroline Thrower, cum laude, Dean's List Scholar, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. Christopher Benton Trewick, summa cum laude, President's List Scholar, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. Hunter Troy Varnado, Bachelor of Science in Sports Management. Sarah Lynn Voyer, magna cum laude, President's List Scholar, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. Shannon Watson, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. Carla Wilcox, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. Cheyenne Wilkins, magna cum laude, President's List Scholar, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. Coy Jeffrey Williams, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. Lacey Miranda Winters, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. Monachismo Ann Agbaguera, Bachelor of Science in Health Services Administration. DeQuindra Boggs, summa cum laude, President's List Scholar, Bachelor of Science in Health Services Administration. Shanika Burse, Bachelor of Science in Health Services Administration. Faith Elizabeth Crowder, Bachelor of Science in Health Services Administration. Anti-Asia Jaquia Davis, Bachelor of Science in Health Services Administration. Shakiria Gordon, Bachelor of Science in Health Services Administration. Kirsten Asaya Herndon, Bachelor of Science in Health Services Administration. Endra Huff, magna cum laude, President's List Scholar, Bachelor of Science in Health Services Administration. Yamina Muhammad, cum laude, Dean's List Scholar, Bachelor of Science in Health Services Administration. Aaliyah Rice, Bachelor of Science in Health Services Administration. Courtney Noel Rudd, cum laude, Dean's List Scholar, Bachelor of Science in Health Services Administration. Lauren Ann Stinson, Bachelor of Science in Health Services Administration. Kelsey Shanice Alexander, Bachelor of Science in Sport Management. Ashley Yvette Wilcox, cum laude, Dean's List Scholar, Bachelor of Science in Health Services Administration. Holly Jordan Francis, magna cum laude, Dean's List Scholar, Bachelor of Science in Sport Management. Rafael Gomez Jr., Bachelor of Science, Sport Management. Quentin Javier Johnson, Bachelor of Science, Sport Management. Kenneth Wiggins, Bachelor of Science in Health Services Administration. James Thomas Rice, Bachelor of Science, Sport Management. Brandon Robertson, Bachelor of Science, Sport Management. Anna Ruiz Mesa, cum laude, Dean's List Scholar, Bachelor of Science, Sport Management. Matthew Glenn Scarberry, magna cum laude, Dean's List Scholar, Bachelor of Science, Sport Management. Desmond Stephenson, Bachelor of Science, Sport Management.
Ladies and gentlemen, the spring 2023 graduates of the School of Business at Middle Georgia State University. President Blake, on behalf of the faculty, I proudly present these candidates who have now satisfied all requirements for graduation and ask that you confer upon them their respective degrees.
So in these next few words, you go from being a student to a graduate officially. By the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the University System of Georgia, I, President Christopher Blake, hereby confer upon each of you the degree or certificate you have so diligently pursued with all the rights and responsibilities thereunto appertaining. Congratulations! That's it. So, we have a tradition. We have a tradition to honor that moment. Because I can see a lot of you now, you've got your hats, you've got your tassel on the left or the right, and officially now it's going to be on the left. But we're going to do that in a little custom, in a ritual, in a nice way. So for now, put your, I can't do it with mine, but if I could, I would show you. It's stuck. Move it back to the right, just for a moment. And welcome back our alumni who were sitting in your seats at some earlier point in their life. Welcome back, alumni. Let's have you back. So, at the beginning of the ceremony, your tassel was on the right, as it is now. What we're going to do in a moment, we're going to have the alumni go in front of the first row. They are going to turn the tassel over to the left of the person and persons in front of them. Then the first row is going to turn around and do that to the second. The second's going to turn around and do it to the third, and so on. We're going to do this standing. First row, stand up, please. And we're going to, now you're bright, so you should be able to figure this out, okay? You've got a degree. You're going to be able to work this one out. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Stand up, second row. Stand up. Come on, third row, you can figure it out. Up you get. Ladies and gentlemen, they are graduates. Yeah. Please be seated. Graduates. Our faculty, our staff, and the people that have stood alongside you in this room on this journey, they have encouraged the very best in you. Some of you will return to Middle Georgia State to continue your education. Some of you will pursue other paths and build your careers, but no matter where you go, you are now our alumni. That is a special and an enduring relationship. We hope that for the rest of your life, you will have pride in your accomplishments at Middle Georgia and feel a connection to what is now your alma mater. I have one very important request. And I get to say this is the final lecture in your career here. I get it now. Your degree has given you knowledge and a credential, and it is there to serve the world. We need you to take it to build your lives, but also build your communities and your places of work and society. Your degrees are granted indeed to empower you, but also the common good. That is the story of your alma mater. Throughout this ceremony, we've talked about this transition. And so now that we are your alma mater, we're going to share with you the song that we created when we became a university. This is our alma mater, and it is sung. And if you please turn to one of the screens that are around us, you will hear Nights of Truth and Honor performed by the MGA Chamber Singers under the direction of Dr. Rebecca Lanning.
Through the rolling hills of Georgia, in the heart of the great Peach State, we build our future shaping lives. The quest is ours to take. With boundless possibilities and the lessons of the past, we sons and daughters of MGA, our friendships ever last. We knights of truth and honor, with knowledge as our sword, we raise our voices loud and clear, our hearts at MGA.
Have you enjoyed your day? That's good. You've enjoyed it because you have accomplished so much, and because the people in this room are here to celebrate with you. And I want to take a moment to give a shout out to my faculty colleagues and staff colleagues who have worked tirelessly in helping educate you and get this ceremony together, and the other 4 ceremonies we've had over the last couple of days. They have worked so well, and I think given us an amazing commencement, and they are going to get us safely off campus and back to our places that we're going. But to all of you who have worked to put this commencement together, we owe you a collective gratitude. Let's give them a big round of applause. We are grateful that you chose Middle Georgia State. Go out and be the knights, and live the rest of your lives using your knowledge to serve others as well as yourselves. I wish you Godspeed. These commencement ceremonies are now concluded, and would you please all rise for the recessional? Thank you.